Hey everybody. I was going to try and show you a little bit about classification. I went up to Alaska, Nome, on the GPAA trip and got some gold and taken the concentrates out today. Brought the concentrates back in my luggage and working through it here at the house. But what I wanted to show you was classification and maybe why it's important. And what I do is those are a 100, a 50, a 30, and a 20 mesh screen. And maybe I can give you a little look and show you what these different sizes look like. And what I do is I set those concentrates inside that 30 mesh, and then I spray them gently with a hose, a little attachment, so it's just a mister really. And then it separates, classifies really, the different size gravels. And what you're trying to do is get the gold the same size as the black sands and other things that are in there that are heavy. And so let me show you a little bit about why we do that. Come over here to the table with me. Alright, this is a tablespoon of stuff that I just took out of the this is the screen. It went through the 30 mesh, but it didn't make it through the 100 mesh. It didn't make it through the 50 mesh. So it's still fairly large. And I deal with it just a tablespoon at a time. And as you can see here, put a little soap in the water to break the surface tension, because this gold off the beach in Nome is really small and likes to float. And really, you're going to do the same kind of panning as you normally would. And what I wanted to show you is how hard it is to get this gold to penetrate through the black sands and the garnet, those type of things. And I won't make you watch the whole process. I'll kind of edit this in and out so that you can see the different stages. Alright, well, here's something else to consider about getting your black sands out is, the blue bowl. I got a blue bowl. I really worked hard at learning how to use it, followed the instructions, and really lost a lot of gold with the blue bowl. And that was following the instructions. That was running it slower. So I don't really know about that product. Maybe it was just me. And things, like a spiral wheel, people say that they work good. Things like the Tom and Perry sluice. It works, and you may have to run your black sands a couple times. But the thing about that kind of equipment is that you can kind of put the tablespoon of black sand in there and clean your garage or something, right? You can do something else while your gold is being worked out of the black sand. All right, what I wanted to show you was that I've gotten through most of the blonde sands, and we're down to that garnet sand that I guess really is prevalent on that beach there in Nome. Alright, I'm going to show you where I've kind of stopped panning. And the reason I do this is because the gold's starting to show up on top, and it gets harder and harder to pan this out without having to constantly shake things and get it back down there. So what I do is I just start to fan the material back like this. Alright. I'm not positive the camera's going to pick this up, but I think it is. So you can see the gold's riding on top of the black sand now. Most of the garnet's gone, and you're down to the magnetic black sands. And well, they're not magnetic. That's part of the problem. Is I get as much out as I can with a magnet, but whatever it is these black sands are, they're not magnetic, so they're not sticking to the magnet. And what you got to do is constantly try and drive those little flakes down to the bottom. And like I said, this process isn't for everybody, but it's inexpensive and it can be done. I'll show you the final gold tally as we go. But if you were to try and pan this out with larger material in here, those little flakes would be spilling out because it takes a lot of force more force to move that bigger material out. Okay, now it's not like I'm not getting anything done while I'm doing this panning. I'm actually smoking ribs. So, granted, there's not a lot of work in smoking ribs, but it's something to look forward to after you're done panning. Whoa, that looks good. Alright, you can see that I've got it pretty cleaned up now. Hopefully the reflection's not too bad. You can see the gold there. You can see that it's kind of scattered around, so you just grab your snuffer bottle and kind of squirt it back into a little pile. Sorry about the soap bubbles. Kind of blow them out of the way a little bit so you can see what you're doing. Get that gold blown around into a little pile so you can suck it up. So that's, you know, clean enough for my purposes right now. And then you just get in there with your sucker bottle and get that all cleaned up down there. And that is how you deal with black sand. Alright, I wanted to try and do a close-up so you can see what this looks like. This is just the last little pocket of material. I don't know how much gold's in there. It's less than a grain. Not very much. But you can kind of see this is the process, and just down to the last little bit. This is all the stuff that I've worked out already. So that's about a tablespoon of material minus the stuff I could get out with a magnet. Alright, well, this is what I'm probably going to stop about here. That's clean enough for my purposes right now. You can see there's still some black sand in there, but it's not much, and I'll do some final clean out towards the end. Well, this is 1 teaspoon of material from my -100 mesh. Let's zoom in on this. I'd say there's probably about I bet there's a grain of gold there. So I might have close to a pennyweight just in this -100 mesh. Pretty cool. Here is teaspoon, not even, I guess this is half a teaspoon of -100 mesh. So I got half a teaspoon this time, and so it's a little smaller amount of gold. That stuff is teeny. I wonder if I can give you something for reference. Let me show you. Alright, I put something in for reference in there. Let's zoom in. So you can see how tiny. That's the stuff that comes off the Nome Beach. I mean, there's bigger stuff that comes off the beach for sure, but there is a heck of a lot of this little stuff. Pretty cool. Alright, well, I finally did it. I panned through all the gold. That is what's out of all the concentrates from Alaska. Kind of fun. Gotta clean it up a little bit.